And welcome back, everyone, to Who Would Win? I was supposed to say Box Office Report. But who would win? From Big Time True Death, the question is, who would win the fight? The Andrew Garfield version of Spider-Man versus the live-action version of Morbius? I mean, as far as we know, they might take place in the same world. We don't know for certain. What we do know is that the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man was very strong. He was capable of lifting a car over his head without too much difficulty. We definitely saw him strain when he caught it, but still, he's very strong. He can take a good beating, although he is still actually, that's a very good question. Who do you think is the more durable of the three, Toby, Tom, or Andrew? Like, in terms of a fight, who is like just taking more hits and keeps going? I'd actually say it's probably Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Just because when we look at how much how many hits someone takes, Tom's actually hasn't taken all that much damage and kept going. Like when I said, I mean, he literally hasn't been hit that much and kept going. Like he got hit by Ant-Man, Giant Man, and he went down and stayed down. It's like, no, I can keep fighting. I can keep. Okay, I'm good. I think I'm done. So, because Toby took that beating from Goblin, and then later on he took a beating from Doc, which was whatever. Then he took that beating from Sandman, and that shit was a beating. And then, honestly, he got pretty much just back up after the fact. So, yeah, I'd say Toby might be the most durable of them. Andrews is probably. The problem is he doesn't get a good show. He only ever got the two movies. The other two got three whole movies, plus a cinematic universe for Tom. Yeah, I'd say among the live action Spider-Man, he's probably the, let's call it squishiest. Sorry about that. The squishiest, I'd say. I mean, he can still obviously take a hit, like he took a clawing from the lizard and kept going. This guy just didn't get enough chance to show us what the Spider-Man hypothetically could do. Still, super intelligent. He's the most physically, I mean, technically Tom's less physically fit, but he's got the lankiest build up. He's actually got an athletic build to him. By the way, hot take, I like the Amazing Spider-Man suit better than Amazing Spider-Man 2's suit. I don't know what it was. I liked the metallic eyes. I like the suit better. That's just my opinion. Obviously, he has his web fluid, which is extremely capable, extremely powerful, extremely strong, great tensile strength, can keep someone bound up. It's strong enough to bind up the lizard, at least for a while. So the question moving into Morbius is, A, how strong is he? B, does he have enough things to counter Toby? And obviously Toby, I keep saying Toby, Andrews. And obviously Andrew has spider sense as well. The problem with a couple stats when it comes to Morbius is A, we only got the one film, and B, they don't show you everything he can really do in terms of physicality. What we do see from him, though, is that he's capable of fast travel, almost teleporting, but it's not quite teleporting. He's just moving at such a speed, it's more like he's moving through shadow, and he is capable of flight as well. But yeah, it's not true teleportation per se. But he also has an echolocation sense. We obviously know he has fangs and claws. And we also know he's got enhanced physicality. We do know that. And he can take a decent beating for what it's worth. He and his friend were duking it out hard, and they were beating on each other. And Morbius more or less, came back from it no problem. It's implied he probably has a healing factor if he's drinking blood, but we never really see it. The question immediately comes down to speed, reflexes, and strength, because that's what's going to be the deciding factor in this fight. And speed-wise, he probably does have a bit of an edge on Andrew's Spider-Man, because I mean, no Spider-Man is a speedster, but in terms of reflexes, agility, we know he's got good reflexes, but Spider-Man makes up for that with the spider sense, so I think that's a wash. Durability, ooh. See, durability based on what they can dish out to each other is more key here. It's not about how durable they are. It's more about how much damage they can do to the other and then how much damage that one can take. So if we're going by, say, physical strength, the problem here right out the gate, I think, is that Morbius is not as physically strong as Spider-Man. We just didn't get enough to show that he could have been. Like, he did some feats of strength, I think. Like, we know there was some, like, metal bending scenes or whatever. But otherwise, or, like, showing some, like, breaking through, like, stone or whatever. But we have nothing like, compared to, like, the car feat. We have nothing like that. And so I don't see Morbius as the stronger of the two. Now, he does still have claws, and we saw that Toby is still very much, I keep saying Toby. Andrew is still very much human. Like, the lizard's claws definitely were able to just rake him. And the question would be, is Morbius's claws just as strong as the lizard's? I'd argue probably yes. In fact, if anything, he can probably even move faster than, because he's a bit more proportional and not as bulky, so he's probably a lot faster with those claws. Now, granted, his claws are smaller, so it's going to be a shallower cut, but still, I would say yeah, he probably is capable of hurting Andrew. The problem here just comes down to, in a contest of physicality, I do think Andrew is the winner here. We just had better strength feats shown to us than Morbius does. Add on spider sense and the fact he has webbing, which means he can bind up Morbius. And my guess is Morbius would not be able to get out of that webbing if he was truly bound up. Maybe his claws could cut through the webbing, but I don't see him being able to bust out of the webbing. So if these two meet in a fight, Morbius is going to be the aggressor, tries to attack him, maybe gets a little bit of taste, gets the scent of blood when he cuts Andrew. Andrew, is, webbing around, maybe webs him up in the air briefly. He's able to get it off him. They're coming in. Finally, he just comes in, just kind of kicks him into the wall. And he gets back up and he gets webbed to the wall and maybe just clocks him if he has to. I think the problem that Morbius also has in this fight is that, technically speaking, both these guys are geniuses. But Morbius is dominated a little bit more by animal instinct when he's in this Morbius form. It's his Morbin time form, if you will. Whereas Andrew isn't. He's still fully cognizant of what he's doing. So that's another L, unfortunately, in Morbius's case. Honestly, this would have probably been what would have been a closer matchup is to have, like, say, Tom Hardy's Venom fight Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. That would have been a lot closer of a fight, definitely. But I think Morbius loses this fight. I think he loses it more times out of not. I'm not saying it's a complete, wash, but I do think he's just fighting an uphill battle just because he doesn't have, A, many of the abilities to really do anything to Spider-Man, and B, he lacks just the overall physicality to take on Spider-Man. He's got good reflexes. He is fast, and he is strong, but Spider-Man kind of trumps him in all the cases that matter. And for speed, and even if he does outspeed the Spider-Man's got spider sense, so his reflexes can still kick in there. So I would go Andrew Spider-Man, but this is just my opinion. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you later.